The Complete Pali Canon. The Connected Discourses of the Buddha. 1. The Book with Verses. 20. Anathapindika. Standing to one side, the young Deva Anathapindika recited these verses in the presence of the Blessed One. This indeed is that Jeta's grove, the resort of the order of seers, dwelt in by the Dharma king, a place that gives me joy. Action, knowledge, righteousness, virtue, and excellent life, by this are mortals purified, not by clan or wealth. Therefore a person who is wise, out of regard for his own good, should carefully examine the Dharma. Thus he is purified in it. Shariputra truly is endowed with wisdom, with virtue and with inner peace. Even a bhikkhu who has gone beyond, at best, can only equal him. This is what the young Deva Anathapindika said. Having said this, he paid homage to the Blessed One, and keeping him on the right, he disappeared right there. Then, when the night had passed, the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus thus: Bhikkhus, last night, when the night had advanced, a certain young Deva approached me, and in my presence recited these verses. This indeed is that Jeta's grove, at best can only equal him. This is what that young Deva said. Having said this, he paid homage to me, and keeping me on the right, he disappeared right there. When this was said, the Venerable Ananda said to the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, that young Deva must surely have been Anathapindika. For Anathapindika, the householder, had full confidence in the Venerable Shariputra. Good, good, Ananda. You have drawn the right inference by reasoning. For that young Deva, Ananda, was Anathapindika. Various sectarians. Siva. Thus have I heard. On one occasion the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's grove, Anathapindika's park. Then, when the night had advanced, the young Deva Siva, of stunning beauty, illuminating the entire Jeta's grove, approached the Blessed One. Having approached, he paid homage to the Blessed One, stood to one side, and recited these verses in the presence of the Blessed One. One should associate only with the good. With the good one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dharma of the good, one becomes better, never worse. One should associate only with the good. With the good one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dharma of the good, wisdom is gained, but not from another. One should associate only with the good. With the good one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dharma of the good, one does not sorrow in the midst of sorrow. One should associate only with the good. With the good one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dharma of the good, one shines amidst one's relations. One should associate only with the good. With the good one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dharma of the good, beings fare on to a good destination. One should associate only with the good. With the good one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dharma of the good, beings abide comfortably. Then the Blessed One replied to the young Deva Siva in verse. One should associate only with the good. With the good one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dharma of the good, one is released from all suffering. Kema. Standing to one side, the young Deva Kema recited these verses in the presence of the Blessed One. Foolish people, devoid of wisdom, behave like enemies towards themselves. They go about doing evil deeds which yield only bitter fruit. that deed is not well performed, which, having been done, is then repented, the result of which one experiences weeping with a tearful face. But that deed is well performed, which, having been done, is not repented, the result of which one experiences joyfully, with a happy mind. The Blessed One. One should promptly do the deed one knows leads to one's own welfare. The thinker, the wise one, should not advance with the reflection of the carter. As the carter who left the highway, a road with an even surface, and entered upon a rugged bypath, broods mournfully with a broken axle, so the fool, having left the Dharma to follow a way opposed to Dharma, when he falls into the mouth of death, broods like the carter with a broken axle. Seri. Standing to one side, the young Deva Seri addressed the Blessed One in verse. They always take delight in food, both Devas and human beings. So what sort of spirit could it be that does not take delight in food? When they give out of faith with a heart of confidence, food accrues to the giver himself, both in this world and the next. Therefore, having removed stinginess, the conqueror of the stain should give a gift. Merits are the support for living beings when they arise in the other world. It is wonderful, Venerable Sir, it is amazing, Venerable Sir, how well this was stated by the Blessed One. When they give out of faith, when they arise in the other world. Once in the past, Venerable Sir, I was a king named Seri, a donor, a philanthropist, one who spoke in praise of giving. At the 4 gates I had gifts given to ascetics, Brahmins, paupers, wayfarers, mendicants, and beggars. Then, Venerable Sir, the harem women came to me and said, Your Majesty gives gifts, but we do not give gifts. It would be good if, with Your Majesty's assistance, we too might give gifts and do meritorious deeds. It occurred to me, I am a donor, a philanthropist, one who speaks in praise of giving. So when they say, Let us give gifts, what am I to say to them? So, Venerable Sir, I gave the first gate to the harem women. There the harem women gave gifts, and my gifts returned to me. Then, Venerable Sir, my Khattiya vassals came to me and said, Your Majesty gives gifts. The harem women give gifts, but we do not give gifts. It would be good if, with Your Majesty's assistance, we too might give gifts and do meritorious deeds. It occurred to me, I am a donor. So, Venerable Sir, I gave the second gate to the Khattiya vassals. There the Khattiya vassals gave gifts, and my gifts returned to me. Then, Venerable Sir, my troops came to me. So, Venerable Sir, I gave the third gate to the troops. There the troops gave gifts, and my gifts returned to me. Then, Venerable Sir, the Brahmins and householders came to me. So, Venerable Sir, I gave the fourth gate to the Brahmins and householders. There the Brahmins and householders gave gifts, and my gifts returned to me. Then, Venerable Sir, my men came to me and said, Now Your Majesty is not giving gifts anywhere. When this was said, I told those men, Well then, I say, send half of the revenue generated in the outlying provinces from there to the palace. There itself give half as gifts to ascetics, Brahmins, paupers, wayfarers, mendicants, and beggars. I did not reach any limit, Venerable Sir, to the meritorious deeds that I did for such a long time, to the wholesome deeds that I did for such a long time, such that I could say, there is just so much merit, or there is just so much result of merit, or for just so long am I to dwell in heaven. It is wonderful, Venerable Sir, it is amazing, Venerable Sir, how well this was stated by the Blessed One. When they give out of faith with a heart of confidence, food accrues to the giver himself, both in this world and the next. Therefore, having removed stinginess, the conqueror of the stain should give a gift. Deeds of merit are the support for living beings when they arise in the other world. Gatikara. Standing to one side, the young Deva Gatikara recited this verse in the presence of the Blessed One. 7 bhikkhus reborn in Aviha have been fully liberated, both now inwardly developed, bearers of their final bodies. Jantu. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, a number of bhikkhus were dwelling among the Kosalans, in a little forest hut on a slope of the Himalayas. Restless, puffed up, personally vain, rough-tongued, rambling in their talk, muddle-minded, without clear comprehension, unconcentrated, scatterbrained, loose in their sense faculties. Then, on the Uposatha day of the 15th, the young Deva Jantu approached those bhikkhus and addressed them in verses. In the past, the bhikkhus lived happily, the disciples of Gautama. Without wishes, they sought their alms. Without wishes, they used their lodgings. Having known the world's impermanence, they made an end to suffering. But now, like headmen in a village, they make themselves hard to maintain. They eat and then lie down, infatuated in others' homes. Having reverently saluted the Sangha, I here speak only about some. They are rejected without protector, become just like the dead. My statement is made with reference to those who dwell in negligence. As for those who dwell in diligence, to them I humbly pay homage. Rohitasa. At Savatthi. Standing to one side, the young Deva Rohitasa said to the Blessed One, Is it possible, Venerable Sir, by travelling to know or to see or to reach the end of the world, where one is not born, does not age, does not die, does not pass away, and is not reborn? As to that end of the world, friend, where one is not born, does not age, does not die, does not pass away, and is not reborn, I say that it cannot be known, seen, or reached by travelling. It is wonderful, Venerable Sir, it is amazing, Venerable Sir, how well this was stated by the Blessed One. As to that end of the world, friend, I say that it cannot be known, seen, or reached by travelling. Once in the past, Venerable Sir, I was a seer named Rohitasa, son of Bhoja, possessed of spiritual power, able to travel through the sky. My speed was such, Venerable Sir, that I could move just as swiftly as a firm-bowed archer. Trained, skillful, practiced, experienced, could easily shoot past the shadow of a palmyra tree with a light arrow. My stride was such, Venerable Sir, that it seemed to reach from the Eastern Ocean to the Western Ocean. Then, Venerable Sir, the wish arose in me, I will reach the end of the world by travelling. Possessing such speed and such a stride, and having a lifespan of 100 years, living for 100 years, I travelled for 100 years without pausing, except to eat, drink, take meals and snacks, to defecate and urinate, to sleep and dispel fatigue. Yet I died along the way without having reached the end of the world. It is wonderful, Venerable Sir. It is amazing, Venerable Sir, how well this was stated by the Blessed One. As to that end of the world, friend, where one is not born, does not age, does not die, does not pass away, and is not reborn, I say that it cannot be known, seen, or reached by travelling. However, friend, I say that without having reached the end of the world, there is no making an end to suffering. It is, friend, in just this fathom-high carcass endowed with perception and mind that I make known the world, the origin of the world, the cessation of the world, and the way leading to the cessation of the world. The world's end can never be reached by means of travelling through the world, yet without reaching the world's end, there is no release from suffering. Therefore, truly, the world-knower, the wise one, gone to the world's end, fulfiller of the holy life, having known the world's end, at peace, longs not for this world or another. Nanda. Standing to one side, the young Deva Nanda recited this verse in the presence of the Blessed One. Time flies by, the nights swiftly pass, the stages of life successively desert us. Seeing clearly this danger in death, one should do deeds of merit that bring happiness. Time flies by, the nights swiftly pass, the stages of life successively desert us. Seeing clearly this danger in death, a seeker of peace should drop the world's bait. Nandi Visala. Standing to one side, the young Deva Nandi Visala addressed the Blessed One in verse. Having 4 wheels and 9 doors, filled up and bound with greed, born from a bog, O great hero, how does one escape from it? Having cut the thong and the strap, having cut off evil desire and greed, having drawn out craving with its root, thus one escapes from it. Susima. At Savatthi. Then the Venerable Ananda approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down to one side. The Blessed One then said to him, Do you too, Ananda, approve of Sariputta? Indeed, Venerable Sir, who would not approve of the Venerable Sariputta, unless he were foolish, full of hatred, deluded, or mentally deranged? The Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Sir, is wise, one of great wisdom, of wide wisdom, of joyous wisdom, of swift wisdom, of sharp wisdom, of penetrative wisdom. The Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Sir, has few wishes. He is content, secluded, aloof, energetic. The Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Sir, is one who gives advice, one who accepts advice, a reprover, one who censures evil. Indeed, Venerable Sir, who would not approve of the Venerable Sariputta, unless he were foolish, full of hatred, deluded, or mentally deranged? So it is, Ananda, so it is. Indeed, Ananda, who would not approve of Sariputta, unless he were foolish, full of hatred, deluded, or mentally deranged? Sariputta, Ananda, is wise, unless he were mentally deranged. Then, while this praise of the Venerable Sariputta was being spoken, the young Deva Susima, accompanied by a great assembly of young Devas, approached the Blessed One. Having approached, he paid homage to the Blessed One, stood to one side, and said to him, So it is, Blessed One, so it is, Fortunate One. Indeed, Venerable Sir, who would not approve of the Venerable Sariputta, unless he were mentally deranged? In my case, too, Venerable Sir, no matter what assembly of young Devas I have approached, I have often heard this same report. The Venerable Sariputta is wise, one who censures evil. Indeed, who would not approve of the Venerable Sariputta, unless he were foolish, full of hatred, deluded, or mentally deranged. Then, while this praise of the Venerable Sariputta was being spoken, the young devas in Susima's assembly, elated, gladdened, full of rapture and joy, displayed diverse lustrous colors. Just as a beryl gem, beautiful, of fine quality, eight-faceted, of excellent workmanship, when placed on a brocade cloth, shines and beams and radiates, so too the young devas in Susima's assembly displayed diverse lustrous colors. And just as an ornament of finest gold, very skillfully burnished in a furnace by an adroit goldsmith, when placed on a brocade cloth, shines and beams and radiates, so too the young devas in Susima's assembly displayed diverse lustrous colors. And just as when the night is fading, the morning star shines and beams and radiates, so too the young devas in Susima's assembly displayed diverse lustrous colors. And just as in the autumn, when the sky is clear and cloudless, the sun, ascending in the sky, dispels all darkness from space as it shines and beams and radiates, so too the young devas in Susima's assembly, elated, gladdened, full of rapture and joy, displayed diverse lustrous colors. Then, with reference to the Venerable Sariputta, the young deva Susima recited this verse in the presence of the Blessed One. He is widely known to be a wise man, Sariputta, who is free of anger, of few wishes, gentle, tamed, the seer adorned by the teacher's praise. Then the Blessed One, with reference to the Venerable Sariputta, replied to the young deva Susima in verse. He is widely known to be a wise man, Sariputta, who is free of anger, of few wishes, gentle, tamed, developed, well tamed, he awaits the time. Various sectarians. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Rajgaya in the bamboo grove, the squirrel sanctuary. Then, when the night had advanced, a number of young devas, disciples of various sectarian teachers, Asama and Sahali and Ninka and Akotaka and Vetambari and Manavagamia, of stunning beauty, illuminating the entire bamboo grove, approached the Blessed One. Having approached, they paid homage to the Blessed One and stood to one side. Then, standing to one side, the young deva Asama spoke this verse, referring to Purana Kassapa in the presence of the Blessed One. In injuring and killing here, in beating and extortion, Kassapa did not recognize evil, nor see any merit for oneself. He indeed taught what is worthy of trust. That teacher deserves esteem. Then the young deva Sahali spoke this verse, referring to Makali Gosala in the presence of the Blessed One. By austerity and scrupulousness he attained complete self-restraint. He abandoned contentious talk with people, refrained from falsehood, a speaker of truth. Surely such a one does no evil. Then the young deva Ninka spoke this verse, referring to Niganta Nataputta in the presence of the Blessed One. A scrupulous, discerning bhikkhu, well restrained by the four controls, explaining what is seen and heard, surely he could not be a sinner. Then the young deva Akotaka spoke this verse, referring to various sectarian teachers in the presence of the Blessed One. Pakudaka Katiyana and the Niganta, along with Makali and Purana, teachers of companies attained to ascetic stature, they were surely not far from superior men. Then the young Deva Vetambari replied to the young Deva Akotaka in verse, "Even by howling along the wretched jackal remains a vile beast, never the lion's peer. So, though he be the teacher of a group, the naked ascetic, speaker of falsehood, arousing suspicion by his conduct, bears no resemblance to superior men." Then Mara, the evil one, took possession of the young Deva Vetambari and recited this verse in the presence of the Blessed One. "Those engaged in austerity and scrupulousness, those protecting their solitude, and those who have settled on form, delighting in the world of Devas, indeed, these mortals instruct rightly in regard to the other world." Then the Blessed One, having understood, "This is Mara the evil one," replied to Mara the evil one in verse, "Whatever forms exist here or beyond, and those of luminous beauty in the sky, all these indeed you praise, Namuchi, like bait thrown out for catching fish." Then, in the Blessed One's presence, the young Deva Manavagamiya recited these verses referring to the Blessed One. "Vipula is called the best of mountains among the hills of Rajgaya, Seta the best of snow-clad mountains, the sun the best of travellers in the sky. The ocean is the best body of water, the moon the best of nocturnal lights. But in this world, together with its devas, the Buddha is declared supreme." Chapter 3. Kosala Samyutta, Connected Discourses with the Kosalan. The first subchapter, Bondage. Young. Thus have I heard. On one occasion the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. Then King Pasenadi of Kosala approached the Blessed One and exchanged greetings with him. When they had concluded their greetings and cordial talk, he sat down to one side and said to the Blessed One, "Does Master Gautama too claim, 'I have awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment'? If, great King, one speaking rightly could say of anyone, 'He has awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment,' it is of me that one might rightly say this. For I, great King, have awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment." Master Gautama, even those ascetics and Brahmins who are the heads of orders and companies, the teachers of companies, well-known and famous founders of sects considered by the multitude to be holy men, that is, Purana Kassapa, Makali Gosala, Niganta Nataputta, Sanjaya Belatiputta, Pakuda Kachayana, Ajita Kesakambali, even these, when I asked them whether they had awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment, did not claim to have done so. So why then should Master Gautama make such a claim, when he is so young in years and has newly gone forth? There are 4 things, great King, that should not be despised and disparaged as young. What 4? A Khattiya, great King, should not be despised and disparaged as young. A snake should not be despised and disparaged as young. A fire should not be despised and disparaged as young, and a bhikkhu should not be despised and disparaged as young. These are the 4. This is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the Fortunate One, the teacher, further said this: One should not despise as young a Khattiya of noble birth, a high-born prince of glorious fame. A man should not disparage him, for it may happen that this lord of men, this Khattiya, shall gain the throne, and in his anger thrash one harshly with a royal punishment. Therefore, guarding one's own life, one should avoid him. One should not despise as young a serpent one may see by chance in the village or a forest. A man should not disparage it, for as that fierce snake glides along, manifesting in diverse shapes, it may attack and bite the fool, whether a man or a woman. Therefore, guarding one's own life, one should avoid it. One should not despise as young a blazing fire that devours much, a conflagration with blackened trail. A man should not disparage it. For if it gains a stock of fuel, having become a conflagration, it may attack and burn the fool, whether a man or a woman. Therefore, guarding one's own life, one should avoid it. When a fire burns down a forest, that conflagration with blackened trail, the shoots there spring to life once more as the days and nights pass by. But if a bhikkhu of perfect virtue burns one with his virtue's fire, one does not gain sons and cattle, nor do one's heirs acquire wealth. Childless and heirless they become, like stumps of palmyra trees. Therefore a person who is wise, out of regard for his own good, should always treat these properly: a fierce serpent and a blazing fire, a famous courtier, and a bhikkhu of perfect virtue. When this was said, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, "Magnificent, Venerable Sir, magnificent, Venerable Sir, the Dharma has been made clear in many ways by the Blessed One, as though he were turning upright what had been turned upside down, revealing what was hidden, showing the way to one who was lost, or holding up a lamp in the dark for those with eyesight to see forms. I go for refuge to the Blessed One, and to the Dharma, and to the Bhikkhu Sangha. From today, let the Blessed One remember me as a lay follower who has gone for refuge for life." A person. At Savatthi. Then King Pasenadi of Kosala approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to him, "Venerable Sir, how many things are there which, when they arise within a person, arise for his harm, suffering, and discomfort?" "There are, great King, 3 things which, when they arise within a person, arise for his harm, suffering, and discomfort." "What are the 3? "Greed, hatred, and delusion. These are the 3 things which, when they arise within a person, arise for his harm, suffering, and discomfort. Greed, hatred, and delusion, arisen from within oneself, injure the person of evil mind, as its own fruit destroys the reed." Aging and death. At Savatthi. Sitting to one side, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, "Venerable Sir, for one who has taken birth, is there anything other to expect than aging and death?" "For one who has taken birth, great King, there is nothing other to expect than aging and death. Even in the case of those affluent courtiers, rich with great wealth and property, with abundant gold and silver, abundant treasures and commodities, abundant wealth and grain, because they have taken birth, there is nothing other to expect than aging and death. Even in the case of those affluent Brahmins, affluent householders, rich with abundant wealth and grain, because they have taken birth, there is nothing other to expect than aging and death. Even in the case of those bhikkhus who are arahants, whose taints are destroyed, who have lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached their own goal, utterly destroyed the fetters of existence, and are completely liberated through final knowledge. Even for them, this body is subject to breaking up, subject to being laid down. The beautiful chariots of kings wear out. This body, too, undergoes decay. But the Dharma of the good does not decay. So the good proclaim along with the good. Dear. At Savatthi, sitting to one side, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, "Here, Venerable Sir, while I was alone in seclusion, a reflection arose in my mind thus: who now treat themselves as dear, and who treat themselves as a foe? Then, Venerable Sir, it occurred to me, those who engage in misconduct of body, speech, and mind treat themselves as a foe. Even though they may say, 'We regard ourselves as dear,' still they treat themselves as a foe. For what reason? Because of their own accord, they act towards themselves in the same way that a foe might act towards a foe. Therefore they treat themselves as a foe. But those who engage in good conduct of body, speech, and mind treat themselves as dear. Even though they may say, 'We regard ourselves as a foe,' still they treat themselves as dear. For what reason? Because of their own accord they act towards themselves in the same way that a dear person might act towards one who is dear. Therefore they treat themselves as dear. So it is, great king, so it is, great king." The Buddha then repeats the entire statement of King Pasenadi and adds the following verses. "If one regards oneself as dear, one should not yoke oneself to evil, for happiness is not easily gained by one who does a wrongful deed. When one is seized by the end-maker, as one discards the human state, what can one call truly one's own? What does one take when one goes? What follows one along like a shadow that never departs? Both the merits and the evil that a mortal does right here, this is what is truly one's own. This one takes when one goes. This is what follows one along like a shadow that never departs. Therefore one should do what is good as a collection for the future life. Merits are the support for living beings when they arise in the other world." Self-protected. At Savatthi, sitting to one side, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, "Here, Venerable Sir, while I was alone in seclusion, a reflection arose in my mind thus: who now protect themselves, and who leave themselves unprotected? Then, Venerable Sir, it occurred to me, those who engage in misconduct of body, speech, and mind leave themselves unprotected. Even though a company of elephant troops may protect them, or a company of cavalry, or a company of chariot troops, or a company of infantry, still they leave themselves unprotected. For what reason? Because that protection is external, not internal. Therefore they leave themselves unprotected. But those who engage in good conduct of body, speech, and mind protect themselves. Even though no company of elephant troops protects them, nor a company of cavalry, nor a company of charioteers, nor a company of infantry, still they protect themselves. For what reason? Because that protection is internal, not external. Therefore they protect themselves. So it is, great king. So it is, great king." The Buddha then repeats the entire statement of King Pasenadi and adds the following verse. "Good is restraint with the body. Restraint by speech is also good. Good is restraint with the mind. Restraint everywhere is good. Conscientious, everywhere restrained, one is said to be protected. Few. At Savatthi. Sitting to one side, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, "Here, Venerable Sir, while I was alone in seclusion, a reflection arose in my mind thus. Few are those people in the world who, when they obtain superior possessions, do not become intoxicated and negligent, yield to greed for sensual pleasures, and mistreat other beings. Far more numerous are those people in the world who, when they obtain superior possessions, become intoxicated and negligent, yield to greed for sensual pleasures, and mistreat other beings. So it is, great king, so it is, great king." The Buddha then repeats the entire statement of King Pasenadi and adds the following verse. "Enamored with their pleasures and wealth, greedy, dazed by sensual pleasures, they do not realize they have gone too far, like deer that enter the trap laid out. Afterwards, the bitter fruit is theirs, for bad indeed is the result." The Judgment Hall. At Savatthi. Sitting to one side, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, "Here, Venerable Sir, when I am sitting in the Judgment Hall, I see even affluent Khatiyas, affluent Brahmins, and affluent householders, rich with great wealth and property, with abundant gold and silver, abundant treasures and commodities, abundant wealth and grain, speaking deliberate lies for the sake of sensual pleasures, with sensual pleasures as the cause, on account of sensual pleasures. Then, Venerable Sir, it occurs to me, I've had enough now with the Judgment Hall. Now it is Good Face who will be known by his judgments." So it is, great king, so it is, great king. Even affluent Khatiyas, affluent Brahmins, and affluent householders speak deliberate lies for the sake of sensual pleasures, with sensual pleasures as the cause, on account of sensual pleasures. That will lead to their harm and suffering for a long time to come. Enamored with their pleasures and wealth, greedy, dazed by sensual pleasures, they do not realize they have gone too far, like fish that enter the net spread out. Afterwards the bitter fruit is theirs, for bad indeed is the result. Malika. At Savatthi. Now on that occasion King Pasenadi of Kosala had gone together with Queen Malika to the upper terrace of the palace. Then King Pasenadi of Kosala said to Queen Malika, "Is there, Malika, anyone more dear to you than yourself?" "There is no one, great king, more dear to me than myself. But is there anyone, great king, more dear to you than yourself?" "For me too, Malika, there is no one more dear than myself." Then King Pasenadi of Kosala descended from the palace and approached the Blessed One. Having approached, he paid homage to the Blessed One, sat down to one side, and related to the Blessed One his conversation with Queen Malika. Then the Blessed One, having understood the meaning of this, on that occasion recited this verse: "Having traversed all quarters with the mind, one finds none anywhere dearer than oneself. Likewise, each person holds himself most dear. Hence, one who loves himself should not harm others." Sacrifice. At Savatthi. Now on that occasion a great sacrifice had been set up for King Pasenadi of Kosala. 500 bulls, 500 bullocks, 500 heifers, 500 goats and 500 rams had been led to the pillar for the sacrifice, and his slaves, servants, and workers, spurred on by punishment and fear, were busy making the preparations, wailing with tearful faces. Then in the morning, a number of bhikkhus dressed and taking their bowls and robes entered Savatthi for alms. When they had walked for alms in Savatthi and had returned from their alms round, after the meal they approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side and said, "Here, Venerable Sir, a great sacrifice has been set up for King Pasenadi of Kosala. 500 bulls have been led to the pillar for the sacrifice, and his slaves are busy making preparations, wailing with tearful faces." Then the Blessed One, having understood the meaning of this, on that occasion recited these verses. The horse sacrifice, human sacrifice, samapasa, vajrapeya, niragala, these great sacrifices, fraught with violence, do not bring great fruit. The great seers of right conduct do not attend that sacrifice where goats, sheep, and cattle of various kinds are slain. But when sacrifices free from violence are always offered by family custom, where no goat, sheep, or cattle of various kinds are slain, the great seers of right conduct attend a sacrifice like this. The wise person should offer this, a sacrifice bringing great fruit. For one who makes such sacrifice, it is indeed better, never worse. Such a sacrifice is truly vast, and all the devatas too are pleased. Bondage. Now on that occasion a great mass of people had been put in bondage by King Pasenadi of Kosala, some with ropes, some with clogs, some with chains. Then in the morning a number of bhikkhus dressed and said to the Blessed One, "Here, Venerable Sir, a great mass of people have been put in bondage by King Pasenadi of Kosala, some with ropes, some with clogs, some with chains." Then the Blessed One, having understood the meaning of this, on that occasion recited these verses. That bond, the wise say, is not strong, made of iron, wood, or rope, but infatuation with jewelry and earrings, anxious concern for wives and children. This, the wise say, is the strong bond, degrading, supple, hard to escape. But even this they cut and wander forth, unconcerned, having abandoned sensual pleasures. The second subchapter, childless. 7 Jatilas. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in the Eastern Park, in the mansion of Migara's mother. Now on that occasion, in the evening, the Blessed One had emerged from seclusion and was sitting by the outer gateway. Then King Pasenadi of Kosala approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down to one side. Now on that occasion, 7 Jatilas, 7 Nigantas, 7 naked ascetics, 7 one-robed ascetics, and 7 wanderers, with hairy armpits, long fingernails, and long body hairs, carrying their bundles of requisites, passed by not far from the Blessed One. Then King Pasenadi of Kosala rose from his seat, arranged his upper robe over one shoulder, knelt down with his right knee on the ground, and raising his joined hands in reverential salutation towards the 7 Jatilas, 7 Nigantas, 7 naked ascetics, 7 one-robed ascetics, and 7 wanderers, he announced his name 3 times. I am the king, Venerable Sirs, Pasenadi of Kosala. I am the king, Venerable Sirs, Pasenadi of Kosala. Then, not long after those 7 Jatilas, and 7 wanderers had departed. King Pasenadi of Kosala approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to the Blessed One, "Those, Venerable Sir, are to be included among the men in the world who are arahants, or who have entered upon the path to arahantship." Great King, being a layman who enjoys sensual pleasures, dwelling in a home crowded with children, enjoying the use of cassia and sandalwood, wearing garlands, scents, and unguents, receiving gold and silver, it is difficult for you to know, these are arahants, or these have entered upon the path to arahantship. It is by living together with someone, Great King, that his virtue is to be known, and that after a long time, not after a short time, by one who is attentive, not by one who is inattentive, by one who is wise, not by a dullard. It is by dealing with someone, Great King, that his honesty is to be known, and that after a long time, not after a short time, by one who is attentive, not by one who is inattentive, by one who is wise, not by a dullard. It is in adversities, Great King, that a person's fortitude is to be known, and that after a long time, not after a short time, by one who is attentive, not by one who is inattentive, by one who is wise, not by a dullard. It is by discussion with someone, Great King, that his wisdom is to be known, and that after a long time, not after a short time, by one who is attentive, not by one who is inattentive, by one who is wise, not by a dullard. It is wonderful, Venerable Sir, it is amazing, Venerable Sir, how well this has been stated by the Blessed One. Great King, being a layman, it is difficult for you to know, by one who is wise, not by a dullard. These, Venerable Sir, are my spies, undercover agents coming back after spying out the country. First, information is gathered by them, and afterwards I will make them disclose it. Now, Venerable Sir, when they have washed off the dust and dirt, and are freshly bathed and groomed, with their hair and beards trimmed, clad in white garments, they will enjoy themselves supplied and endowed with the 5 chords of sensual pleasure. Then the Blessed One, having understood the meaning of this, on that occasion recited these verses. A man is not easily known by outward form, nor should one trust a quick appraisal, for in the guise of the well-controlled, uncontrolled men move in this world. Like a counterfeit earring made of clay, like a bronze halfpence coated with gold, some move about in disguise, inwardly impure, outwardly beautiful. 5 Kings at Savatthi. Now on that occasion 5 kings headed by King Pasenadi were enjoying themselves, supplied and endowed with the 5 chords of sensual pleasure, when this conversation arose among them. What is the chief of sensual pleasures? Some among them said, Forms are the chief of sensual pleasures. Some said, Sounds are the chief. Some, odors are the chief. Some, tastes are the chief. Some, tactile objects are the chief. Since those kings were unable to convince one another, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to them, Come, dear sirs, let us approach the Blessed One and question him about this matter. As the Blessed One answers us, so we should remember it. All right, dear sir, those kings replied. Then those 5 kings, headed by King Pasenadi, approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down to one side. King Pasenadi then reported their entire discussion to the Blessed One, asking, What now, Venerable Sir, is the chief of sensual pleasures? Great King, I say that what is chief among the 5 chords of sensual pleasure is determined by whatever is most agreeable. Those same forms that are agreeable to one person, great king, are disagreeable to another. When one is pleased and completely satisfied with certain forms, then one does not yearn for any other form higher or more sublime than those forms. For him, those forms are then supreme. For him, those forms are unsurpassed. Those same sounds, those same odors, those same tastes, those same tactile objects that are agreeable to one person, great king, are disagreeable to another. When one is pleased and completely satisfied with certain tactile objects, then one does not yearn for any other tactile object, higher or more sublime than those tactile objects. For him, those tactile objects are then supreme. For him, those tactile objects are unsurpassed. Now on that occasion, the lay follower Chanda Nangikala was sitting in that assembly. Then the lay follower Chanda Nangalika rose from his seat, arranged his upper robe over one shoulder, and raising his joined hands in reverential salutation towards the Blessed One, said to him, "An inspiration has come to me, Blessed One. An inspiration has come to me, Fortunate One." "Then express your inspiration, Chandamangalika," the Blessed One said. Then the lay follower Chanda Nangalika, in the presence of the Blessed One, extolled him with an appropriate verse. As the fragrant red lotus Kokanada blooms in the morning, its fragrance unspent, behold Angirasa, the Radiant One, like the sun beaming in the sky. Then those 5 kings bestowed 5 upper robes upon the lay follower Chanda Nangalika. But the lay follower Chanda Nangalika bestowed those 5 upper robes upon the Blessed One. A bucket measure of food. At Savatthi. Now, on that occasion, King Pasenadi of Kosala had eaten a bucket measure of rice and curries. Then, while still full, huffing and puffing, the king approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down on one side. Then the Blessed One, having understood that King Pasenadi was full and was huffing and puffing, on that occasion recited this verse: "When a man is always mindful, knowing moderation in the food he eats, his ailments then diminish. He ages slowly, guarding his life." Now on that occasion the Brahmin youth Sudarsana was standing behind King Pasenadi of Kosala. The king then addressed him thus: "Come now, dear Sudarsana, learn this verse from the Blessed One and recite it to me whenever I am taking my meal. I will then present you daily with 100 kahapanas as a perpetual grant." "Yes, sire," the Brahmin youth Sudarsana replied. Having learned this verse from the Blessed One, whenever King Pasenadi was taking his meal, the Brahmin youth Sudarsana recited, "When a man is always mindful, he ages slowly, guarding his life." Then King Pasenadi of Kosala gradually reduced his intake of food to at most a pint-pot measure of boiled rice. At a later time, when his body had become quite slim, King Pasenadi of Kosala stroked his limbs with his hand, and on that occasion uttered this inspired utterance: "The Blessed One showed compassion towards me in regard to both kinds of good, the good pertaining to the present life and that pertaining to the future life.